Okay, so hello everyone. Let us have a discussion on this column chromatography, flash chromatography, as well as vacuum liquid chromatography, which are some of the important techniques for learning the aspects of chromatography separation. So, in some of the last session, we have discussed what are these column chromatographic techniques, what can be their basics. So those all things we have discussed, in which we have generally seen the kind of column chromatography. So how the way column chromatography can be performed. So we have to take one column. It should be first of all plug with cotton plug, and then we need to add our some mobile our stationary phase such as silica gel, and that has to be uh, pack is like this, and it has to be the sample which we want to separate that should be present at the top of the layer of silica gel. Okay, and then we are performing the separation with the help of mobile phase. So mobile phase concentration we can choose with the help of performing a TLC. We have to perform the TLC of our reaction mixture so that the separation spot, the things RF value should be about zero point 0.3 or zero point 0.5. Okay, so that thing, chromatographic separation that we people have already seen in the last sessions. So now we shall be further discussing that some of the other basic concepts, and after this also I shall show you one of the important video which is much important to learn the column chromatography. So before, let me quickly finish this whatever the pending theory of this column chromatography, then I shall show you that particular video which is basically for this how to perform column chromatography separation. Okay, so these are some of the other kind of things we should keep in mind, that whenever we are packing the column, so we should always try to avoid the dry filling using we should we can also perform the dry filling in the help of stock vessels. So that is also there, and they're compacting. So sometimes we the people can do gentle tapping. So by using gentle tapping with the help of, let us say, either some glass rod or with the help of a tubing, if we tap the column, then we can create the uniform distribution of the silica into column chromatography. So that is also possible. Then but tapping should be always, it should be gentle tapping, because if we try to tap the column through vigorous force, then what will happen, the column may break down. So during some of my chromatographic separation, I used to perform the tapping very much in a faster manner as well as with the force. So that happened with me, that I was loading my compound, but जो पूरा कॉलम था ना वो क्रैक हो गया और वो मेरे हाथ में आ गया था. I mean to say, column was breakdown. So gentle tapping is required. In If we not can do gentle top tapping, then in such case we can also do the this pressure based. We can attach certain pump to the column chromatography, and then we can do this kind of uh, I mean to say tapping. So here actually it is shown that pressure pump is connected, which is having certain a cylinder is then maybe full of either oxygen or some nitrogen gas, and then we can do the tapping so that call our silica gel may be filled properly into the column. So that is where we will have a compact column. So that is also more important, because we don't want any kind of voids, any kind of gaps in between the silica particles. So that will cause the discontinuity or non-homogeneous packing of our silica gel. So that is one of the concern. Sometimes we can also do the weight filling, and depending upon the mobile phase or whatever the solvent we are using, so we can also do the weight filling as well. So what is called a weight filling? So weight filling basically in which we can have, let us say, some we can take the silica gel and can dissolve it either in hex, or not dissolve, but we just can weight it in hexane or some other these solvents, maybe sometimes dichloromethane, and then we need to make a homogeneous slurry, and that slurry we need to pour into this thing. So that way also this we can achieve the chromatography separation. So I mean to say we can pack the column, and these are some of the other things that has been mentioned, that what should be the some case, which is the silica gel, which is generally suspended, and suspension is introduced. Slurry is one of the best way. We can take suspended silica gel, and then we can perform this packing also. So generally, we used to do the weight filling with the help of in majority of the cases in hexane, but and then we can also use the pump for this purpose to show the sedimentation. Then next another case is stationary phase. So stationary phase is also one of these concepts where we can do the this kind of chromatographic separation. Majorly two components are required. One of them is stationary phases are of so many types. It can be alumina, magnesium oxide, carbon, silica. Just ऐसा नहीं है कि only silica is one of these mobile phases which can be used. Along with, if not silica, then we can also use some other mobile phase. And this can be, let us say, alumina, Al2O3, which is in highest polarity, kind of inorganic compound. So anhydrous alumina is generally preferred because hydrous alumina is the one which will have, I mean to say, some moisture free content is there. Magnesium oxide is this where we can also use it. Carbon matlab generally charcoal, but I have not seen charcoal is mentioned here, but mainly I have seen silica and alumina as the stationary phase. In some of the cases, maybe calcium carbonate or magnesium carbonate can be used for this purpose of separation. So stationary phases, depending upon their highest polarity, lowest polarity, these are the concerns which have been shown over here. Fine. Then after this, some other techniques are other kinds of adsorption. So basically, these are the adsorbers which are stationary phases, maybe acidic, basic, etc. And generally, they require chemical stability because anything should not react or attack with all of these stationary phases. It is also called as adsorbent because whatever the compound in which we want to separate, so it should show some kind of interaction with our stationary phases. Some kind of hydrogen bonding interaction, and because of this we may lose the inherent nature of silica there. So that's why it is suggested that this uh, adsorbent should not react with any of these, I mean to say, adsorbents or the stationary phases. So then after this, particle size, this is more important because as we know that as soon as the particle size increases, surface area increases. Once the surface area increases, the interaction scope. Okay. So many of the formulations sometimes we are developing. So because of this also, let us say they are in nanoparticles, nano formulation. So because of nano size, this surface area will be in 10 raised to minus 9 nanometers. So in that case, the surface area increases rather than the micro or milli. Right? So this way, this nano particle size is also more important. But in column chromatography, generally we are using particle size of smaller size, 63 to 200. That is a microns, 10 raised to minus 6 particle sizes. And actually, they do not, these manufacturers of silica gel, they do not give the particle size in the form of this micron or nano, but generally they are giving the particle size in the form of mesh. So 60 to 120 mesh size silica is used for the purpose of column chromatography. When we will go for the flash chromatography, then this particle size that should reduce, maybe less than 20 to 40 or 40 to 60 mesh particle size is required for flash chromatography. Then if we go for HPLC, so as it is mentioned over here, HPLC में तो उससे भी कम होता है 3 to 20 micron, so उससे भी particle size is less. So that way we can use this kind of chromatography techniques. Okay, so several types of other the stationary phases are available, and generally they are modified depending upon their properties. Because why? Silica gel is completely polar in nature, but we can convert this silica gel by modification of hydroxyl group of SiO2 into O-decyl, O-octyl, or some non-polar kinds of particle size. So that can be used for this purpose. Right, so octadecyl group is here, and then pyrenyl, nitrophenyl, and pentabromobenzyl. So, and all of them have different features. Right, I will not go into the depth of this, but just for the sake of simplicity, depending upon our purpose, we can use these kinds of column chromatography. You look at to this silica gel G, which contains gypsum CaSO4, but silica gel H that contains the binder. Now it is silicylic acid. Okay, so different silica gels are available, and silica gel G60 and Cosmosil, Fluorosil, etc. So they are also used as this types of stationary phases. Activity of stationary phase is more important, and we can activate the silica gel. इसलिए one previously in my class I have asked you to not to store silica gel with its open cap. जो सिलिका जेल का डिब्बा होता है ना, उसको आप ओपन कैप रख के भी रात को चले जाते हो, दूसरे दिन सुबह में आते हो, so at that time it might have absorbed the moisture. So once it will absorb the moisture, then in that case it will not be that much. So friends, it is more important to preserve the silica gel. It is more important to make it moisture free and to reactivate it. For example, because of somehow if the silica gel has absorbed the moisture and that contains water, and we want to purify it, so under this we want to activate it, so we can activate using by putting it in a oven, such as 200 degrees Celsius temperature is there, 110 degrees Celsius for certain period of time, then we can activate the silica. Or we can also activate the alumina at 200 degrees Celsius and 4 hours. So that way, by doing this thing, we can activate the silica for definite period of time for definite temperature. These are some other grades of activity scale for alumina, where different amount of moisture is also added, not to just to reduce the activity, but in certain cases. So grade 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are also available for this purpose. Now, the interaction between our whatever our chemical constituent of our interest and this alumina, that is dependent, or alumina or silica gel, that is basically dependent upon the adsorption isotherm. So we have so many adsorption isotherm, likewise this, where it can sometime it will show tailing as well. What is called tailing? So this is generally applicable in HPLC, high performance liquid chromatography, where once the compound has started eluted for column chromatography, then it will show, it will not completely elute and will disappear in likewise this. But what it will do is once the compound has started elution like this, it will go on illuminating slowly, and then maybe not achieve the perfect baseline or may achieve the baseline later on. So this thing is called as fronting, where adsorption isotherm is showing the tailing, but not showing the complete Gaussian curve, the symmetrical curve like this. This is a kind of curve which is called as Gaussian, because we can divide a particular curve into two equal parts, and area under the curve which is covered by half of the peak, which is exactly equal to the other half of the peak. Okay, so this is basically a kind of linear isosome between the stationary phase and whatever the concentration of solute in mobile phase. So this is called Gaussian curve. Okay, so it is symmetrical. Why it is Gaussian? Is Gauss is the name of the scientist, and from his name, this kind of curve is termed as Gaussian curve, and that means that a particular curve is in symmetrical in shape. This shape, whatever the called fronting, that is basically asymmetrical in shape. That is not symmetrical because we cannot divide this shape into two equal parts. That's why it is called as uh, kind of a fronting. And in this case, this adsorption isotherm is like this: Cs, which is a concentration of solid in a stationary phase, and Cm is a concentration of our compound or analyte in mobile phase. Okay, so that is basically this kind of Langmuir type of anti-Langmuir type of iso. Okay, and so this is a major concern for column chromatographic technique. And now what I will not show discuss much more thing with you people regarding this, but I shall show you how to put one of the video related to this. Then that will help you to study further this uh, column chromatography technique. So let me search first that video so that I can discuss with you some all that. Uh, to perform column chromatography. I was having that with me. Just let me. This is one of the video I'm presenting the screen with you people so that you can go through the same and although it is made by some external, some other people, maybe MIT Institute, and they have prepared this video. So it explains completely that how the separation, how the column chromatography is there. Although it is 22 minutes long, but I shall spend quantitative time on this so that at least by sitting at your home and sitting on your devices, you can see how to perform column chromatography. So friends, this is the way a column chromatography is there. So it may be having a particular kind of column and that is connected with this character. Okay. So yes, it is basically called as column chromatography. So they are explaining the basics. So let us keep some of the parts. Directly go to the various steps for learning this column chromatography. More important is we have to choose a solvent system, and how, that is nothing but our mobile phase. And to choose the solvent system, we will require the T. As I discussed previously, we will have to perform the TLC. This is the video which I have seen so many times just to learn the column chromatography, because by doing this we will be able to learn. So what they are doing first, they are trying to develop uh, thin layer chromatography TLC plate first by spotting the samples on TLC plate. So two times they are spotting, and then they are developing this TLC thin layer chromatography in mobile phase. So here the mobile phase is basically diethyl. It can be any, so it they have diethyl ether, or it can be pentane, or it can be thalacetate or hexane. So that is up to the choice of your compound. It can be also methanol or dichloromethane. What they are doing, they are always taking a combination of polar solvent and non-polar solvent. In this case, methanol and dichloromethane. Methane is a polar solvent, dichloromethane is non-polar. So now you can see in this TLC plate, once we have run this substance, then it will show the TLC plate like this. So आपका जो baseline पे आपने dot किया था ना, वो थोड़ा ऊपर चला गया. So this is basically called RF value 0.3. इसका जो RF है ना, that is too much low. ये बहुत हल्का सा run हुआ है. That cannot be considered as a kind of big run. and this RF is too much high. We cannot also use this RF value for the purpose of our learning as well, or for the purpose of our column chromatography. इसलिए 0.3 RF. Some people are also taking 0.5 RF for the separation. This is more important when we are having separation, when our reaction mixture that contains two spots. So in those cases, this two spots, if you want to separate, then a kind of different this concept will be completely different. So gradient dilution is also required. Then we need to start first of all with a non-polar solvent, and non-polar solvent basically we can utilize for the purpose of separation. Polar solvent is also can be utilized, but what will happen? There's a like dissolves like if we are using polar solvent, so sometimes we may have our both the constituents uh, together in a reaction mix. Okay, so that was the first part, and second part is choosing a quantity of adsolvent. So यहाँ पे they might have given some gram of silica gel, certain gram of silica gel might be utilized. Initially जब आप काम करते हो ना तब ये चीज बहुत important है. इसको ध्यान से सुनो. Silica and alumina, these are the kind of toxic materials. Once वो आपके lung में जाएंगे ना, so that silica will get deposited in lungs, and then it can cause cancer. And this cancer is basically nothing but also called as silicosis. So silica can cause cancer. ये उन्होंने एक रफ एस्टिमेट दिया है कि if you want to separate the 1 gram of compound, then we should use 20 gram of silica. But I have performed so many column chromatographic technique. तो उसके बाद बेस पे मेरा ये इंट्यूशन है कि ऐसे there is no guideline. वो एक बार आप जितना ट्राई करते हो वैसे वैसे आपको पता लग जाता है कि that how should you do or not. So here they are trying to have taken a silica gel into a conical flask. Then more important is also column diameter. कॉलम डायमीटर को तब जब आप बहुत बड़ा आपका रिएक्शन मिक्सचर है और आप उसको सेपरेट करना चाहते हो तब वो आप यूज कर सकते हो, पर याद रखो आपका डायमीटर जितना बड़ा है, लेंथ ऑफ कॉलम जितनी बड़ी है ना, उतना सेपरेशन आपका लेट होगा. बट आपका जो कॉलम है वो बहुत शॉर्ट है और फिर सरफेस एरिया भी नहीं होगा तो आपका गुड सेपरेशन नहीं हो पाएगा. इसीलिए this choosing the size or diameter of the column is more important. And packing the column is also there. So they shall show you how to pack the column. We have to, जैसे ये मैं बार बार बोलता हूँ ना कि ये कॉलम ले लिया फिर उसको कॉटन प्लग लिया और कॉटन प्लग उसको इस तरह से पैक कर दिया. So this is more important. Then we, with the help of certain rod, we can plug that also, but make sure that ये जब plug in करते हैं ना, तो जो cotton हमने प्लगिंग के पर्पस के लिए क्लॉक उसको हमने ब्लॉक करने के लिए जो लगाया वो इसीलिए लगाया है ताकि सिलिका जेल हम डालें तो सीधा ही उससे बाहर ना आ जाए, सिलिका जेल कॉलम में ही रहे और जो सॉल्वेंट है वो उससे पास. कॉटन प्लग नहीं डालोगे तो क्या होगा, कॉटन प्लग नहीं डालोगे तो जो आपका सिलिका जेल है वो बाहर आ जाएगा कॉलम से भी आपके कंपाउंड के साथ आपके मोबाइल फेस के साथ. इसलिए कॉटन प्लग किया है. और कॉटन प्लग करते टाइम पे डोंट गिव एक्स्ट्रा फोर्स और डोंट ट्राई टू डू इट विगरसली, क्योंकि वो ब्लॉक हो गया ना तो फिर आप अपनी कॉलम को भी रीयूज नहीं कर पाओगे. ठीक है, सो दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. इसलिए वो जेंटल क्लॉक इज लाइक वाज दिस इट शुड बी डन. And once it, then this is the column that they fix on a particular, तो particular stand पे रखो और हमें चाहिए this thing beaker, funnel, cylinder and silica gel as well as this silica gel का डिब्बा जो लिखा है. Now they are using basically a pump based kind of column chromatography. What they are doing, they are adding particularly sand. वो sand इसलिए रखते हैं क्योंकि एक लेयर बन जाए और फिर they are adding the, let us say, hexane or some मोबाइल फेस तो नहीं होते बट हेक्सेन ही होते हैं. तो जो सैंड है ना वो वहां पे एक लेयर बना देता है. दिस इज नॉट मैंडेटरी बट ये जो वीडियो है उसमें then they are preparing this slurry. So देखो conical flask में सिलिका थी और उसमें उन्होंने हेक्सेन डाला और फिर स्लरी बनाई। ये ऐसी स्लरी आपने जब टीएलसी प्लेट जब आप बनाते हो ना तब यूज किया होगा आपने। Here, then they are shaking that conical flask and they are adding this. Now it is completely ready. तो फिर एंड में जो सिलिका जेल कॉनिकल फ्लास्क में रह गई थी उसको वापस वो मोबाइल हेक्सेन डाल के डाल देते हैं। तो देखो उन्होंने कितना पैक डालते हैं तो ये प्रेशर से वो जो कॉलम में वो कॉम्पैक्टनेस आ जाती है। कॉम्पैक्टनेस आने से इट विल लुक होमोजेनियस पैकिंग लाइक दिस। Okay, so this is how a column is packed. We have to take the caution that there should be no bubbles when we pack the column. इसीलिए बबल को दूर करने क्योंकि बबल देखो ये आपको नहीं दिखेगा वहां पर आप जब रियली पैकिंग करोगे उसमें बबल भी रह जाते हैं। तो इसीलिए बबल को रिमूव करने के लिए टैपिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड। तो ये बोला है ना उन्होंने वी ऑलवेज यूज अ वेट स्लरी need to tap the column or you may apply the pressure क्योंकि प्रेशर की वजह से जो बबल है वो आपके कॉलम कॉर्क से निकल जाएगा। सिलिका कॉर्क इसलिए वापस होमोजेनियस पैकिंग हो जाएगा। जो कॉलम है ना कम्प्लीटली ड्राई ना हो जाए। कम्प्लीटली ड्राई हो गई तो फिर आप आपके लिए वापस सिलिका लेंगे। ये देखो उन्होंने कॉशन बोला है वो लेट दिस सॉल्वेंट लेयर ड्राई और ड्रॉप बिलो द लेयर। Okay. So next is step that is called loading of the sample, loading of your reaction. So here they are doing the weight loading. So what is called weight loading? We have to take the sample, we have to add mobile phase or sometimes it is hexane or sometimes ethyl acetate into this one and we have to adsorb in on silica. So sample completely. And sometimes we are making sample, sometimes we are putting the reaction. But क्या होता है कि our sample is generally not solubilized in ethyl acetate sometimes in dichloromethane. तो उस टाइम पे हमें हाई पोलैरिटी वाला सॉल्वेंट यूज करना चाहिए। जैसे कि मिथेनॉल यूज करो, इथेनॉल यूज करो और कभी कभी डीएमएसओ भी किसी ने बोला था बट डीएमएसओ में फर्क ये है कि उसका बॉइलिंग पॉइंट है वो 150 डिग्री सेल्सियस है। सो डीएमएसओ इज नॉट मेजरली यूज। जिसका बॉइलिंग पॉइंट कम है लेट अस से लेस देन वाटर 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस सो दैट कैन बी यूज फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ loading the sample on silica gel. So friends, this way they are doing, राइट। सो सैंपल ये एक्चुअली उन्होंने विदाउट सिलिका जेल वाला ही किया है, डायरेक्टली वो सैंपल लोड कर रहे हैं। तो in other cases we can adsorb the sample on silica gel till it will form free flowing powder। तो फ्री फ्लोइंग पाउडर बन जाए उसके बाद भी सिलिका जेल को ऐड कर सकते हैं जिसपे अपना सैंपल एडसॉर्ब किया। उसके लिए आपको रोटा पेपर चाहिए, आपकी लैब में होना चाहिए, तब जाके आपका ये कॉलम अच्छे से होगा। क्योंकि कॉलम करना है ना तो वो आपका सैंपल इल्यूट होगा और उस सैंपल को इल्यूट करने के बाद आपके कंपाउंड को आपको कलेक्ट करना है तो उसको इवोपरेट करने के लिए रोटा पेपर इज देयर। We have rotavirapor in one of the chemistry lab, which is I think yet to be functionalized. But the lab in this AIC, at Atal Incubation, you people can make the use of the same for your purpose. Okay, then we can add the silica silica mobile phase add करो और उन्होंने sand भी add कर दिया. So now you can see the layer. पहले सिलिका जेल, फिर थोड़ा सा सैंड का लेयर है, फिर कंपाउंड है और उसके ऊपर सैंड है. Here they are explaining how I think maybe और कंपाउंड ओके उसको फिर उस मोबाइल फेस डाला है और फिर उसमें उसको डिसॉल्व कर दिया. तो ड्राई लोडिंग दे आर एक्सप्लेनिंग फॉर सम अदर कंपाउंड. तो वी रिक्वायर सिलिका जेल, वी रिक्वायर राउंड बॉटम फ्लास्क, कॉनिकल फ्लास्क की जो येलो कलर का है ना, दैट इज द सैंपल. और उसमें मोबाइल फेस डाल के उसको सोलिबलाइज कर रहे हैं. फिर ये सैंपल उसको ट्रांसफर कर रहे हैं राउंड बॉटम फ्लास्क. ये लास्ट टाइम वॉशिंग कर रहे हैं, तो जो भी रेसिड्यूज बॉटल में सैंपल वायल में रह गया है उसको हम आरबीएफ में फ्लास्क में ट्रांसफर कर सके. In small amount of silica we need to add from this to this conical flask, right? रोटावेपर यूज करते हैं ना, तो रोटावेपर यूज करते टाइम पे ये एक ऐसा कनेक्टर, उसको एडाप्टर बोलते हैं. तो एडाप्टर इज रिक्वायर्ड टू कनेक्ट अवर कॉनिकल फ्लास्क विद द रोटावेपर. ये स्पेसिफिकली हम बना सकते हैं जनरली ग्लास इंजीनियरिंग जो करते हैं ना, दे कैन मेक दिस काइंड्स ऑफ apparatus एंड इट इज पॉसिबल. तो देखो उन्होंने कनेक्ट कर दिया है और फिर वो रोटावेपर इंस्ट्रूमेंट जो दिखा रहे हैं जिससे हीटिंग करते हैं, ये ऑपरेशन हम कर सकते हैं. तो by at certain temperature we will provide the heat, the whatever the solvent is that will get evaporated and free flowing silica will be generated in conical flask. और वो फ्री फ्लोइंग सिलिका जो कॉनिकल फ्लास्क में है उसको we can add on silica gel. So this is basically called as dry loading. ठीक है, वो उन्होंने सिलिका जेल उस पर डाल दिया. फिर देखो इसी कॉनिकल फ्लास्क की वॉल पे कोई सैंपल था, सिलिका जेल था, वो स्टिक हो गया. उसको उन्होंने वही सॉल्वेंट लेके भी हेक्सेन और टीसीएम लेके उन्होंने वापस थोड़ा और सॉल्वेंट ऐड कर दिया ताकि जो बाकी सिलिका जेल है वो भी यूनिफॉर्म रह जाए. देन दे आर डूइंग द टैपिंग एंड दिस टैपिंग विल कॉज this kind of homogeneous layer. और फिर homogeneous layer बनाने के लिए we can also add mobile trace like this, right? Also there. Alternatively, we can do the tapping, I think. So they will also show the tapping, right? So the layer should not be too much thick. हमेशा याद रखो जब आप वो आपके डिपेंडेंट करता है, आप जब ड्राई लोडिंग करते हो ना तब वो कितना अमाउंट ऑफ सिलिका लेते हो. तो ऐसा कहा जाता है कि दिस शुड बी डिपेंडेंट based upon what is the concentration of your this mobile. I mean to say what is the concentration of this sample size. आपका सैंपल साइज बड़ा है तो आपको सिलिका जेल ज्यादा लेना होगा. एंड देन आपको एक एक टेस्ट ट्यूब उसके कॉलम के नीचे रखना है और आपको ये कॉलम करना रहेगा. तो उसमें आपको पता है बार बार एक एक टेस्ट ट्यूब कलेक्ट करते जाओ और उसका टीएलसी करते जाओ, यूवी चैम्बर में विजुलाइज करते जाओ कि whether it is showing some one or two spots TLC or not. This kind of flow rate is called as much slow. And sometimes flow rate is also more important because बहुत ज्यादा flow rate होगा ना तो आपका जो कंपाउंड है वो सेपरेट नहीं होगा. और बहुत कम फ्लो रेट है, सेपरेट तो होगा पर बहुत टाइम लगेगा आपके लिए. ओके, इसीलिए द फ्लो रेट शुड बी एडिक्वेट. इसकी तरह नहीं होना चाहिए और बहुत स्लो भी नहीं होना चाहिए. ऐसा कहा जाता है कि it should be sometimes one drop per 1 second. So that is also a kind of this. And we have to always change the test tubes. Once they are these test tubes are filled, then they should be also changed with the new test tubes. Means empty test tubes. और इसको प्रिजर्व करके फिर इसका कॉलम फॉर्मेट इसका हमें टीएलसी करना चाहिए. ठीक है, now they will exchange this filled test tube with unfilled or empty test tubes. ये देखो. Yes. So this is how column chromatography can be performed. And we have to always pay attention to the solvent level because हम हमेशा नीचे ध्यान रखेंगे ना तो फिर ऊपर का जो लेयर है वो ड्राई हो जाएगा. इसलिए मॉनिटरिंग ऑफ द कॉलम इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. और इसी के लिए देखो now they have collected all the test tubes. with this thing. और उसमें सिर्फ हमें कभी कभी इनिशियली हो ना, तो आप जब बिगिनिंग में करते हो, so as a fresher, as a beginner, you need to mark the test tubes 1 2 3 4 5. तो you can check that whether ये TLC कर रहे हैं ताकि उनको पता लगे कि कौन से टेस्ट ट्यूब में उनका प्योर कंपाउंड है। तो देखो उन्होंने दिखाया है कि वन कंपाउंड पर वन फ्रैक्शन वी शुड कलेक्ट। ये जो बीच के यहाँ के जो कंपाउंड्स है ना, दैट कंटेन्स one compound, so that we all these tissues we can mix and then we can evaporate. This is called overlapping fraction कि एक ही टेस्ट ट्यूब में दोनों कंपाउंड का इल्यूशन हो रहा है। So ideally we should, or we can go for performing that one more time, column chromatography, and can have take this separate compounds as a separate one. So what should we do in this case? Either we can discard those fractions which are a mixture, इसलिए or else we can go with the pure spot only. Okay, तो प्योर फ्रैक्शंस कलेक्ट करके उनको हम करके दिस इसको बोलते हैं कंबाइनिंग फ्रैक्शंस। तो ये जो आपने टीएलसी किया और आपको पता होगा कि टेस्ट ट्यूब में सिंगल कंपाउंड था, उसको एक सारे टेस्ट ट्यूब्स मिक्स कर दो और फिर उसको एक ही कॉर्नर राउंड बॉटम फ्लास्क में ये हम इसलिए ले रहे हैं क्योंकि इसको भी हम एडाप्टर के साथ कनेक्ट करके रोटावेपर पे चलाएंगे एंड वी विल हैव कंपाउंड। I shall also share this video with you. So, you can. It is also available on YouTube by created by these MIT fellows. So you can also access it from YouTube. Then we can evaporate the solvent using rotavac. So once we evaporated all of them, then we will have the pure compound in the round bottom flask. हाँ, ये मोर इम्पोर्टेंट, जब तक आपका कंपाउंड आप रिकवर ना कर लो तब तक कोई भी फ्रैक्शन फेंको मत। क्या पता कि जब आप इसको कॉन्सेंट्रेट करोगे, एंड में टीएलसी करोगे, तो पता लगेगा कि ये जो रिएक्शन मिक्सचर है ना, इट कंटेन्स बोथ द स्पॉट्स, नॉट द सिंगल वन बट इट कंटेन्स बोथ द स्पॉट्स। तो इसीलिए दिस इज ऑल्सो। So here now we will be drying the silica and it will look like this. I mean to say we will just try to add this cotton plug and we will try to run. Now they are also explaining in some other 2 to 3 minutes what is called microcolumn, a kind of pipette. So microcolumn or pipette, that is basically called as ultra column chromatography or a short kind of chromatography. We will take a pasture pipette like this. Pasture pipette first of all should be filled with cotton plug, then silica gel. ये मैंने वो पीपीटी में दिखाया था ना, same thing is here also. Cotton, adsorbent, sand, sample as well. Then we can add our this small samples from the top side, I mean to say here, and then we can achieve the separation. Whatever the इस तरह से उसको एक एक छोटा सा करते हैं, then we are separating the compound. तो दोनों के जो दो कंपाउंड नीचे है ना, वो धीरे धीरे उनका डिस्टेंस बढ़ता जाएगा और प्योर कंपाउंड नीचे आएगा, उसको कलेक्ट कर लो और इसको बोलते हैं शॉर्ट कॉलम क्रोमेटोग्राफी और समटाइम इट इज आल्सो कॉल्ड एज माइक्रोपिपेट कॉलम। सो सी हाउ दे आर एडिंग द सॉल्वेंट्स, ताकि जो सॉल्वेंट का लेयर है ना, वो सॉल्ट सैंड के नीचे ना चला जाए। सैंड के नीचे चला गया तो आपका कॉलम ड्राई हो जाएगा, ड्राई हो गया तो फिर यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू यूज इट वन मोर टाइम। So these all the basics of column chromatography technique and कितनी भी बार ये वीडियो देख लो, 10 बार देखो, 5 बार देखो, 2 बार देखो, और जब तक आप ये परफॉर्म अपने लैब में नहीं करोगे, you will not be able to learn the column chromatography. So that is the major concern that I wish I could discuss with you, how to perform column chromatography. ओके, सो बेसिक्स यही है कि कॉलम क्रोमेटोग्राफी में you should use the mobile phase which is having this 0.3 or 0.5 kind of RF वैल्यू एंड दैट, क्योंकि TLC जो करते हैं ना उसमें ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स होता है, TLC हमेशा रन होता है एग्जैक्टली ऑपोजिट टू ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स, और कॉलम में जो रनिंग होता है ना सेपरेशन ऑफ द कंपाउंड्स, दैट इज इन अकॉर्डेंस विद ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स। ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स ऊपर से नीचे की ओर होता है, तो कॉलम क्रोमेटोग्राफी में सॉल्वेंट जो है हमेशा ऊपर से नीचे ही जाता है। बट थिन लेयर क्रोमेटोग्राफी में आपका जो मोबाइल फेज है वो दैट विल रन एग्जैक्टली ऑपोजिट टू ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स, वो नीचे से ऊपर चढ़ेगा इन थिन लेयर chromatography, but in mobile phase, in column chromatography it will be from top to the bottom। तो ये बेसिक डिफरेंस दोनों के बीच में है, TLC as well as column chromatography concepts। So I have further few slides to discuss with you what is called the short column chromatography। जो अभी आपने end में देखा ना, that is nothing but it is actually called this short column chromatography, and that is more important when depending upon our sample size। आपका sample size बहुत ही कम है, let us say in 500 milligram, 100 milligram, 50 milligram, then this kind of short column chromatography can be useful, and also for high RF values are there when we can use this. This is also one of the inventive steps for flash chromatography. I think we should stop up to this, but in next class, because it is a new dimensions of chromatography, so that we will discuss in our lectures from here on. Okay, so majority of these concerns are discussed, that when we are performing short column chromatography, then fraction should be small, flow rate should be also adequate, and it should be 3 to 6 ml per minute. Uh, 1 ml per minute is also a good way, but 3 to 6 is an optimum kind of the concept, and we can also use pressure pump for this purpose, and silica gel G is generally used for this kind of column chromatography. So that is widely used, silica gel G, which is the major concern for this, and it can be used for the purpose of this column chromatography. So this, when you will be learning major, when you will be doing column chromatography, you will be able to learn. Although many of you will be pursuing your projects on HPTLC, HPLC, or LCMS. So LCMS is also kind of a liquid chromatographic technique. So already you will be performing this. Medicinal chemist, sometimes nature products. So even during your project work, you will be doing lot of thin layer chromatographic techniques, and this column chromatography also in your projects also, because to separate the compound, pure the purified, which is more important to perform column chromatography. Flash is also important chromatographic techniques, which is already there in our AIC, Atal Incubation Center. Flash is there. If you want to perform for your compound, then you can also perform it. Just you will have to fill a form, get it signed by your supervisor, your HOD, and go to AIC and do that flash column chromatography. And you will not have to pay any money for this, because it is you people are already associated with LM College of Pharmacy. So this way you can do the things, but although I shall show you one of the video of this flash chromatography in our next session, where we shall be discussing the further basics of फ्लैश क्रोमेटोग्राफी। फ्लैश का मतलब ऐसे वो मोबाइल में फ्लैश होता है ना, तो वो टाइप का फ्लैश नहीं, बट फ्लैश का मतलब होता है रिलेटेड टू प्रेशर। वो प्रेशर बेस है जो ये हमने कॉलम क्रोमेटोग्राफी आज देखा वीडियो में, दैट इज नॉट डीलिंग विथ एनी काइंड ऑफ द प्रेशर, बट sometimes pressure is set with the help of robotic arms and nitrogen cylinder. The things are automatized. ये जो माइक कॉलम क्रोमेटोग्राफी करते हैं ना, many times it is too much tedious. Why? Because we have to pack the column, we have to load the sample, we have to prepare the sample, and then we have to run the column. और फिर उसको जो भी फ्रैक्शन है उसको कलेक्ट करना है, एक्सट्रैक्ट को कलेक्ट करना है, और उसको इवोपरेट टीएलसी करना है, इवोपरेट करना है, और बाद में आप अपना फाइनल टीएलसी करोगे कंसंट्रेट सैंपल का जो भी आपने कलेक्ट किया है। तो वो यदि सिंगल स्पॉट है तो आप एनएमआर सबमिट कर सकते हो, आईआर सबमिट कर सकते हो, और एनएम इस मास को भी सबमिट कर सकते हो। And if your compound is mixture, then it is not good to submit the sample for this FTIR, HRMS, marks. Let us say LCMS, GCMS, because it is having some impurity or the mixture. क्योंकि जैसे मेडिसिनल केमिस्ट है, they will synthesize the compound and will screen the compounds against particular disease, तो उस टाइम पे भी this is more important. अभी कोई लेट से ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट है, उनको कंपाउंड कैरेक्टराइज करना है, सो दिस इज आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट। नेचुरल प्रोडक्ट और फार्माकोग्नोसिस्ट है, तो व्हेन दे आर एक्सट्रैक्टिंग पर्टिकुलर, लेट से दे वांट टू सेपरेट करक्यूमिन फ्रॉम करक्यूमा longa or piperidine from Piper nigrum, so in that case also they will have to extract all of this chemical constituents. So column chromatography is required, and purity is a major concern. Chromatography we cannot learn just by discussing through these virtual sessions or by seeing some videos. We cannot learn. आप लैब में जाओ, काम करो, कॉलम करते करते फेल हो जाओ, तब आप सीख पाओगे। आप फेल नहीं होते हो तो you will not be able to learn the things. Believe me, when I was learning these techniques, column chromatography during my PhDs, then lot of time I have failed. इतना टेंशन होता, कभी कभी डिप्रेशन होता था। ये आपने प्रोजेक्ट शुरू नहीं किया इसलिए पता नहीं लगेगा, एक बार प्रोजेक्ट शुरू करोगे ना फिर पता लगेगा, एक एक चीज का आपको टेंशन डिप्रेशन होगा। तो उस टाइम पे मैं भी ऐसी डिप्रेशन में था। वंस आई वाज अंडर दिस काइंड्स ऑफ फेलियर्स दैट stuck me, and what did happen that I didn't come to the lab for 2 to 3 days. So somebody, my professor, my PhD supervisor, Professor Chakravarti, that he called some student that why Tejas is not coming to the lab. So call him, I want to interact with him. So I got a call from my friend that sir is calling you. That I immediately reached to the lab. So from the hostel, I reached to the lab and I discussed with sir. Okay, sir, I tried with so and so column, but I could not get a chance to purify the compound. So in research, motivation is more important. ठीक है, किसी साइंटिस्ट ने ऐसा ही कुछ बोला है कि perspiration is more there as well as your motivation. किसी ने बोला है success means maybe 70 to 80% of perspiration and 30% 40% of your this motivation. So then Professor Chakravarti motivated me. the setback तो तेजस आपका आता है ऐसा नहीं है, setback तो मेरा भी आता है, that he told to me. तो मेरी लाइफ में भी फेलियर आता है, तो फेलियर आने से आई एम नॉट स्टॉपिंग टू कम टू माय ऑफिस, स्टिल आई यूज्ड टू कम फ्रॉम द ऑफिस एंड यूज्ड टू डू द थिंग्स। जैसे कि किसी की फैमिली में डेथ हो जाती है, ठीक है, तो किसी का बच्चा मर गया, किसी का ये हो गया वो हो गया, तो क्या घर के सारे लोग जीना नहीं छोड़ देते कि आज वो मर गया तो चलो हम भी उसके पीछे मर जाते हैं? नो, people are recovering from this kind of the shock. वो शॉक से भी बाहर आते हैं और जीना जीते हैं, जीना सीखते हैं। The same way, this kind of failures are negative results are not the negative results. Negative results are the one which direct us towards the positive result. Okay, so this way we can learn the concepts. और उसके बाद then I learn the column chromatography from other PhD senior, and when जब भी I used to fail by doing this column chromatography, I used to remember these words of my supervisor, and that used to motivated me that if he and more than at the age of 60, if he is still devoting himself to the research, then youngsters like myself and yourself, what are the hurdles for us not to work in the lab? ये जो आपका कोर्स वर्क सेमेस्टर 1 and 3 is majorly for this kinds of this purpose. फिर आप सेमेस्टर 3 और 4 में जाओगे, then you will be able to learn all of these techniques. But that in that time, this motivational force is more important. Right, fine. So we shall continue our discussion on column chromatography from this onwards with a new topic of flash chromatography. So thank you everyone. Thank you so much.